Welcome to Trustee Training, an overview of roles, a six-part training series presented by the State Library of Iowa. This session covers Part 1, Introduction. The State Library of Iowa provides consultation, education, information, and support to all of Iowa's public libraries, to staff, directors, and trustees. These videos are presented by the State Library of Iowa's District Consultants. My name is Mary Ann Morey, and I'm the District Consultant for Central District. We consultants are available to answer your questions and provide educational opportunities for your board. In addition to our consultation services, the State Library also has a Trustee's Handbook, which we encourage every trustee to read. You can find the handbook on the State Library's website at statelibraryofiowa.gov. In these videos, we will provide a quick look at each of the board's top 5 roles or responsibilities as explained in the Trustee's Handbook. In this session, we'll be looking at Part 1, Introduction, which covers the basics of what it means to be a library trustee and offers some practical practices and first steps to help you be an effective library board member. You'll find the remaining videos in this series on the State Library's website. You may be wondering exactly what is a library trustee. Perhaps friends or neighbors have asked you what you're supposed to do as a trustee, and you've had a difficult time explaining your role. Or maybe you're just now contemplating whether you should accept a position as a library trustee, and you need to know exactly what trustees do. In the book, The Library Trustee, A Practical Guide, author Virginia Young describes a trustee like this. You are designated to act as governor or protector over property belonging to another. In this case, you govern and protect the city's library. Your board has been created by law, as we'll see in a moment, and you act as citizen control, the governing body of the library. Library trustees are public officials and servants of the public. Your board is a public trust. That's quite a responsibility. In a nutshell, your purpose as a trustee is oversight of the library, a city department that belongs to the citizens of your community. But it should be clarified and understood that yours is administrative oversight. In all but a couple of Iowa's public libraries, the library board is not just an advisory board like most other city boards. Rather, the library board is an administrative board, meaning it has many powers. Those powers must be balanced with the legal requirements of the city's financial accountability. You'll learn more about this administrative role as you complete the videos in this series and as you read through the Trustee's Handbook. Here are some practical ways you can individually help put the board's oversight into practice. Make attendance at monthly meetings a priority. Your board meetings should be on the same day of each month, for instance, the first Tuesday, the third Thursday, etc. So it's easy for you to mark your calendar well in advance and reserve those dates as a priority. Come to the meeting prepared. Read the board packet information in advance of the meeting. If your director isn't sending you the packet at least 2 days prior to the meeting, ask for it. Review the past meetings minutes, the budget report, and the director's report so you are ready to make comments or ask questions at the meeting. Educate yourself about your duties. Standard 8 of the State Library of Iowa's accreditation program states that all library trustees should participate in continuing education each year. A recommendation is 3 to 5 hours of training. The State Library provides not only the previously mentioned Trustee's Handbook, but also ample training through webinars, both live and recorded. You also have access to your library's district consultant at the State Library, so don't ever hesitate to contact your consultant with your questions or concerns, or ask us to do training for your board. Pay attention to library needs. Keep abreast of the challenges and needs of your library so you can advocate for solutions. And expand your volunteer roles at the library. Offer to assist with programs, help at the book sale, or check with your directors to see if there are other ways you can volunteer an hour or two regularly to help the library beyond attending board meetings. That last slide's practical practices list is an ongoing list, but it ties hand in hand with Chapter 1 of the Trustee's Handbook, which is titled First Things First. The following slides note some first things first actions you should take early as a trustee. First, get to know your library. and the difference it makes in your community. The best way to gain this knowledge is to visit your library regularly. Get a library card and use it. Sit in the library at various times on various days of the week to observe how people use it. Attend a program. Pay attention to the library's calendar of events. Learn about the programs and services your library offers. Your library is likely one of the most heavily used city services. This is because for many communities, especially our smaller ones, the library is the heart of the community. But you also need to realize that your library exists to serve the needs of your community. So in that regard, the community is the heart of the library. How is your library meeting the needs of your community? Can you list the ways? Do you know what needs your community has? Are there any needs that aren't being met? And are there ways the library could possibly meet those needs? Those are questions for which, as a trustee, you'll want to learn the answers. Second, review your city's library ordinance. In Iowa, a public library is established by an ordinance adopted by the City Council. It is the law under which the library exists and is part of the city code. Your library's ordinance will include instructions about how trustees are appointed and information about the powers and duties of the library board. Ask your library director for a copy of your ordinance and read it carefully. Iowa Code Section 392.5 is what gives clout to your city's library ordinance. As spelled out here, this state code basically provides for the creation of your library board. The code establishes that the library will be operated by the board, and the code also sets forth at least one duty of the board to accept and control the expenditures of the library. Your library ordinance is so important that you'll note the code includes a stipulation saying it can only be changed by a vote of the citizens of your community. Your library board, your city council, your mayor, none of you can change your library's ordinance. Only the voters of the city can change the library's ordinance. Next, understand the differences among the board's role, the library director's role, and the city's role. Learn how those roles differ, yet all unite on one team to benefit the community. As you complete these training videos, you'll come to a better understanding of these differing roles. For now, suffice it to say that the library board oversees the big picture operations of the library, while the library director oversees the day-to-day operations of the library, and the city is like the team owner in that the city funds the library and does have some legal obligations. Remember that library employees are city employees, and the library is a city department. Understanding and remembering that all of the aforementioned people are on the same team can help make operations run smoothly. Additionally, you should be familiar with the State Library's accreditation program. This is the program whereby libraries receive state funding by meeting certain standards or best practices outlined in the booklet In Service to Iowa, available on the State Library's website. The more standards a library meets, the higher the library's tier status. Tier 3 libraries are considered fully accredited, although libraries at any of the 3 tier levels receive some state funding. The board has an active and ongoing role in accreditation. This slide shows just some of the standards that directly require the interaction of the board, standards that require the board to meet regularly, to ensure appropriate city and county funding, to adopt and evaluate the library's policies, to provide your director with a performance evaluation annually, to participate in board education regularly, to complete an ADA checklist, to develop and annually evaluate a strategic plan for the library, and to ensure that the library is meeting other standards outlined in the In Service to Iowa book. Finally, although you may be a brand new trustee, you'll still want to be thinking ahead to the time when new trustees will be needed on your board, likely due to expiration of terms. Positively demonstrate what it means to be a trustee and look for residents of your city who may share your passions for the library and the community. Ensure that your library has a brochure for prospective trustees, that is, a brochure that summarizes library board members' responsibilities. Develop a library board application if none exists, and make it available to prospective trustees. While the library board is not responsible for filling vacancies, remember that your mayor appoints trustees with city council approval. It is still a good idea for current board members to be actively recruiting residents as potential new trustees, so you have some names you can share with your mayor when the time comes for a new appointment on your board. If you begin putting into practice those practical practices, as well as consider that list of first things first actions, you'll be well on your way to fulfilling your top 5 roles as a trustee, namely hiring and supervising the library director, approving and monitoring the library budget, developing and adopting library policy, planning for the library's future, and evaluating service and advocating for advancements. In the subsequent videos of this series, you'll learn more about each of these roles. As mentioned earlier, the State Library has a consultant available to assist you, your entire board, your director, and other library staff with any questions or concerns. Simply go to the State Library's website at statelibraryofiowa.gov to find a map of the districts along with access to your district consultant. This concludes this introductory session. We hope you'll watch all the sessions in this series, which are all available on the State Library's website.